Video to our monitor shows picture of a tragedy. Welcome back to CBS News 24/7. I'm Reed Cowan. So our teams continue to monitor multiple wildfires raging out of control in Southern California. They are driven by some major winds. In fact, we just learned the death toll is at 2 in the Eaton Fire. That death toll expected to only climb in the coming hours. In fact, it is so bad that we don't really have a full count of the homes that have been burned or destroyed. But at this hour, the number stands at 1,000 structures. So they just don't know how many are businesses, how many are homes. But we do know this: thousands of Californians forced to leave with just the clothing on their backs. Now let's talk about the Palisades fire. It's just one of 4 wildfires raging in Los Angeles County. At least 70,000 people evacuated. So picture the number of seats in your average university football stadium, right? Like about 30,000. Double that and add 10,000 seats to that. That gives you an idea of the enormity of the people who are on the run right now, trying to navigate arguably some pretty narrow streets there. In fact, the Los Angeles fire chief says resources and services are stretched thin.
With the Pacific Palisades fire, we know that it continues to demand a significant amount of resources and attention. A second major brush fire, now referred to as the Hearst Fire, has erupted in the Sylmar area of Los Angeles. Now, together, these fires are stretching the capacity of emergency services to their maximum limits. The Los Angeles City Fire Department is battling these 2 major fires while also maintaining, I want to focus on this as well, 911 services for the city's approximate 4 million residents. Now, despite the severity of the conditions, our department remains fully committed to safeguarding lives and property.
Hey, you're not going to be able to put that out.
Wow, you're not going to be able to put that out. That's a real-life moment of humanity playing out there. Someone risking their life to try to save their home, and then a neighbor risking their life to say, look, you can't do it. It's too late. Heed the warnings. Leave your home and get out. And then, of course, the terrifying moment that intense winds sent those flames turning back on him. These are just touchstones to human stories in the midst of flames. Look at this. Nearly 100 people of the Pasadena Senior Center evacuated in the night, some of them in wheelchairs, some as old as 102. So let's go live to CBS News Elise Preston in Malibu. Elise, we can hear the winds whipping there. We hope you are safe and your crews are safe. We're just now hearing the death toll of the Eaton Fire and getting that preliminary count of the structures burned. Tell us about the personal stories that you are hearing where you are.
Well, Reed, thank you for having us. We are trying our best to stay safe. As you mentioned, you can hear the wind. It is incredibly strong. Just to give you what people are kind of dealing with, I'm hanging on to a pole right now as we stand here and talk to you. But right where we are, we're on the Pacific Coast Highway, and this is exactly the moment what you were talking about. Right down this stretch of road. We went down there for a little bit. It was too dangerous for us to stay, but we just saw a continuous stream of homes that were burned to the ground, flames that were still going, and firefighters are back there trying to get them out. As you mentioned, the wind that you can hear, it is carrying these embers so quickly. And so they're spending a lot of time just trying to get out what they can because they don't want those embers, those flames to pick up and spread. Already 1,000 structures have been destroyed. This fire is just devastating. And we're hearing firefighters, we're hearing sheriff's deputies, police turn people around right here at this intersection right off the Pacific Coast Highway. Right in front of us, there are dozens of cars of people who have fled their homes, and this is really where they're going. I was just walking down the roadway not too long ago. People were crying in their cars. People were praying. Just a lot of catastrophic things that people are dealing with. You know, they had moments. We know that these winds were coming, but they moved so quickly, these flames, and so people had to just leave. They had to abandon their homes. And it's not just structures. These are homes that they've spent their entire lives to build. They have memories in these homes. And so it is a very devastating thing for these families that have been here. And to see that destruction right down that roadway is just heartbreaking, Reed.
Elise, and we want to acknowledge for our viewers, there's about an 8-second delay between where I am and where Elise is. So just be patient with us, viewers, as we talk back and forth with Elise. You're watching continuing coverage here on CBS News 24/7 of that Southern California wildfire emergency. We want to let our viewers know we expect at any minute President Joe Biden is going to be in Santa Monica on a tarmac with something to say to the people of California and the people of the nation. Elise, what are people doing by way of helping each other? We know in times like these, it really takes community to get through this. And you're hearing stories of firefighters and neighbors helping neighbors. Paint a picture of the other big story, and that is the fact that there are people helping each other.
Yeah. There are a lot of people helping. There have been a lot of resources that have poured out just in the last 12 hours or so. And keep in mind, there are quite a few wildfires that are burning in the Southern California area. So it's not just this Malibu section that we are in right now. Right down the roadway, I met a man who was kind of hanging out. He said that his home is safe. He feels safe as far as how the winds are directing, and he has not been told that he needs to evacuate. He's staying in his home right now, trying to see if anyone else just needs a place to stay. Excuse me, this winds and this ash. He's staying in his home, hoping to open it up for people who have been forced to flee their homes. So you're seeing a lot of that humanity. You're seeing people offer up water. You're seeing people just pray for one another and just say, how are you doing? And I think that's maybe like a small question, but it probably means a lot, especially in a time like this. This is just total devastation. I've never seen anything like it. People are telling us that they've never seen anything like it. People who have been in California, you know, they are prepared for some winds to kind of kick in at some points in the season. They're saying that they've never seen anything like this. These winds are incredibly strong. Some of the winds topped out at about 100 miles per hour overnight, and these winds are still continuing. There are some signs. We've seen signs like big street signs just ripped off from the poles, and they're kind of going down the highway. So people are also, you know, fearful of these flying objects. I've covered hurricanes. I've lived in a hurricane belt. That's how I would liken these winds. But instead of carrying water, they are spreading flames. They are spreading embers. And if you just see the devastation, you know, we're showing some video for our viewers, but up close, it truly is heartbreaking to know that people have lost everything. And, you know, some lives have been lost here in Southern California. We know of at least 2 confirmed fatalities. But it's just so hard to think about these families who have been forced to flee. Some people, out of fear, abandoned their vehicles and kept going. You know, they were trying to drive out, and they still, they didn't even make it out by way of vehicles, but they just fled on foot. It's just truly heartbreaking to see what these families are going through.
And Elise, we can see the force of those winds quite literally knocking you off of your balance there. We are hoping and praying that all of the emergency efforts to get people evacuated pays off big time. Our thoughts and prayers with everybody. Listen, we also know that CBS News teams are teams. We want to also say thank you to your photographers, your editors, your crews that are out there putting themselves in harm's way. Please let them know we're grateful to them. Information is power, and you have helped to empower the people of this nation to know how we can engage in helping the people of Southern California. Thank you so much. Please be safe.